Why do people back into parking spaces? Making it easier to get out later. Other than the safety issues others mentioned, my dad always taught us to back in if you have the time, because you never know when you might be in a hurry to leave. Pulling out is faster than backing out. He was a firefighter, EMT, so he was pretty big on being prepared for emergency situations. When the spots are perpendicular to the direction of travel, backing in is safer. When you leave, you aren't backing into traffic. And when you back into the spot, you aren't backing into traffic either. Believe it or not, it's for safety. Backing out of a parking spot or driveway is more dangerous to pedestrians since the driver has less visibility backing up in comparison to moving forward. It's a lot easier to reverse into a parking space because of the pivoting you can do with the steering in the rear. There's a reason why things like pallet jacks have their pivoting wheel on the rear opposite of the direction it's headed. Also, it's easier to drive out of when you're leaving. With some full-size trucks you can't get into a normal parking space squarely without doing a Austin Powers shuffle. But you can back in perfectly in one motion. I wonder why people don't. It's safer and easier than having to reverse into traffic. Safety. When backing in, you can see traffic all around you, and the spot you need to back into. When leaving the spot, you have full visibility of traffic from all directions. Backing in also lets you maneuver better, which is also why you should back in when parallel parking. If you don't back in, you have large blind spots when leaving the space, and can't see if the area immediately behind your car is clear. Less of a problem these days with ubiquitous backup cameras. Honestly, I've been waiting for someone to ask me this because I am a strong advocate for always backing into a parking spot when able, excluding grocery shopping or other places where it allows easy access to your trunk. It makes it easier to get out, especially if I'm in a hurry. Also, in the unlikely scenario that I'm running for my life and trying to escape, it's easier to just peel out instead of backing out while stressed. A friend of mine went to a safety course to reduce his insurance, and this was one of the main points to avoid parking lot fender benders. I drive a pickup truck. The turning radius isn't the greatest. It does have really good mirrors and a backup camera, though I can back into a spot way easier than pulling in straight. Basically to do the work now, so it's easier to leave. I don't like backing out in parking lots because people don't pay attention. Most modern vehicles have a backup camera which allow you to line up better into a tight spot. And then it's also safer for leaving. Especially with a large vehicle like a truck. Backing into a small space, it's much better. You're backing in or out at least once regardless anyway, right? So even if there weren't legitimate reasons to back in first, you'd still be doing both anyway. So it wouldn't matter anyway. But 1. It's easier to back in a spot where you have already surveyed the area and pedestrians versus backing out and can't see them. 2. It's easier to get to your trunk. 3. Gets the harder part out of the way first by backing in. And it's easier to leave. It's easier to pull out than back out. As a courtesy to other drivers in the lot, I back my pickup into a spot where my truck bed is over a median instead of hanging out into the traffic flow. If I nose in, my front wheels are too close to the front of the truck to get the whole body in the space. By backing in, the length of the truck bed that's past my back wheels is over grass, not in the lot. Large car with poor visibility. Backing out is more frustrating and dangerous. If you back in, you know what's there and it's safer. To add to what people are already saying, Most jobs that require you to drive a company vehicle will require you to back into parking spots to reduce the chances of collision. Believe it or not, most accidents are with stationary objects while backing up. Because the front of your car does the steering. It can't do any steering while it is jammed between two parked cars. So you need it sticking out into the big space where it can do its job. When I moved to Calgary, I felt like everyone was backing in. So I asked someone. He pointed out that it was easier to be centered in the space. He didn't mention the ease in pulling out didn't come up.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.